The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Hey, I just want to tell you, yesterday I was going to pick up my son Cooper from school, right? And there's this deli that's not too far from his school, and they do these banh mi rolls. You know, the Vietnamese ones?
I never
You
get
like
one.
them?
No, I never get one because I'm always... I know that the original banh mi has liver in it.
Yeah,
Like liver paste.
yeah.
Liver paste? What's it called? Liver paste. Pate.
Pate.
Thanks, Dan.
I never knew what it was.
Liver paste.
I knew-
I just don't eat organs.
He's been single for a long time, and he's sticking to it. So anyway, I pulled into this deli. I thought, I'm going to get this banh mi because they're really cheap at this joint. They were like $8 or something
An $8
along the lines.
banh mi?
Yeah,
A long banh mi?
Nah, they're
Like a
probably a medium
panini,
size.
like a panini banh mi?
Nah, just like almost a hot dog roll size.
A hot dog roll banh mi.
Yeah. So anyway, I go in there and this lady's just been served. It's one of those delis that whilst they do banh mi's, it's just chockers full of stuff. And you know, the Bain Marie's got the sausages and the toasted sangers and all that stuff. And this lady is walking out in front of me. She'd just been served. That's great. I'm next. So I said to the lady, can I just get one banh mi? And she says, absolutely. So she turns around and she grabs the roll and just pulls it apart. And then, you know, just to give it some air, I guess, I don't know, whatever.
What do you
they
mean?
You know how you get like a hot dog roll and you pull it apart?
Just to give it some air. Because it's
you're
very
about to butter
important, very important in the sandwich process to where you roll.
I thought, okay, she just pulled it apart a little bit and then she started walking around a little bit. I just thought, oh, okay, she's looking for the butter just to butter both sides.
Do you butter a banh mi?
Well, that's there was the only... no, but that was the thing that was going through my head. She's just walking around looking for something.
Banh mi.
And I'm just waiting there. So what she was looking for is her phone. So she just picked up her phone and she just made a call.
While your roll's in her hand,
Yeah.
and she's airing it out.
She's just walking behind the counter with the roll in her hand with her phone and she's talking to somebody and it's gone on for quite some time.
Yeah.
And in my mind I'm thinking, and you're right, I didn't think about banh mi's don't come, maybe she's calling down from someone, I don't know, down the street or out the back that she hasn't gotten an ingredient. Anyway, this went on for quite some time. In that time, there's about 4 or 5 people who have come in. They're lining up behind me.
Yeah.
Whilst this lady is just having a conversation on the phone. She puts down the phone and then she just began making my roll that took her literally about 25 seconds to put together and then pass it to me. Not a word said.
Did you, what was the conversation about?
I couldn't hear exactly what it was about. I presumed it was about butter or an ingredient that was going in this roll.
What do you mean? So you thought that she was having a banh mi emergency?
Yes.
And like,
she rang.
She was like, oh my God, I'm airing the roll as we speak.
Yes.
And like, I need the organ
Maybe
paste.
the organ paste. Or the pate or butter for some reason.
But then did someone come and solve her banh mi emergency, or was it just
No. She just decided that she needed to talk to someone at that particular time.
Well, you stumbled onto either $8, Sean.
Oh my God, unbelievable!
Barn her.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Natalie's not here today because she is down south at a wedding. But don't worry, everyone. Look what's happened. Everyone be upstanding for the pride of Perth. TiVo.
A little much,
Race TiVo. A little much. A little
Only
much.
the best for you. No, I was. That is a rhetorical
I thought I was
question.
going to be
You know what I
dragged
mean?
in on a trolley. We were all like, horse and cart or something.
No,
waving
I'm
to
also
the
dragged
crowd.
in on a trolley like Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, that's right.
the drinks trolley.
Gagged.
How are you, lady?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Thanks
Good
for
to see
having
you,
me
Trey.
back again. It's been a while, actually. hasn't
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
You heard just before the news, Sean telling us a
Yes.
story about the $8 banh mi in which the woman that was making it basically pulled the roll around. Sean thought she was just airing it out and
Yeah.
she proceeded to take a phone call.
Oh, I think it's normal. You
Tell
go
us.
to any Vietnamese bakery, they're
Yes.
just doing random stuff. You're like, well, where's my food? But I mean, I described it as multitasking, but you said
No,
she
it
wasn't
can't be.
doing anything.
Well, if you're making the roll and talking, okay, I get
fine,
it. And then
yeah.
sometimes you go, oh, that might be a bit off. But if you're not making the roll, you're holding it without making it and having a 5-minute
Do
conversation.
you know what? Viets love a chat, so I'm not surprised you took the phone call.
So
while
that
making
is
the
that to
roll.
you is normal, that
That's
you wouldn't
normal.
batter an eyelid
That's
at
why
that.
I was sitting in the car park waiting for Amy to get me. I was like, I need to listen to Sean's story. It's normal. It's actually normal.
I thought it was hilarious. You know, the best part about those things and being in this job is you go, this is going to be so funny. I've got to tell everybody.
Yeah.
You said that banh mi's have changed, though.
Yeah, so back in the day they were like $3. So $8 is still quite cheap where you grab your banh mi, Sean. But back in the day it was like $3. I've been told this morning somewhere in Inglewood, $17
No way.
for a banh mi.
Amy, come to the microphone. That's
Come
out
over
of
the
control.
microphone. Yeah. A $17 banh
Amy's
mi.
like, okay, fine.
What?
Yeah, you know the new apartments that actually the MS Lottery.
Yes.
Yeah, down there at the bottom, there's a new place there. Yep.
$17.
How long is it?
It's in the hood.
How long is it?
People pay those prices.
Yeah.
No
I
way.
would not pay. I'm not going to get one.
No, but also it
You
might
want to be the length of your car.
It'd probably be quite westernised. I feel it's simple flavours. You know, you got
I'm
your
with you.
pate, your meats, you know, your pickled carrot, coriander, like a little bit of sauce, chili, like all the fresh stuff. But sometimes they're a bit overloaded with different kinds of meats and like.
Hey,
I totally get it.
I've got a pate question. Is pate always livers, or is
Yeah.
it? Oh, okay, right. So it's not lungs.
You
and-
can't think of it, man.
It's not. It's
Can't
not like
think
it's
of
not
it.
like all the offal that you're talking about here.
Yeah, but it's a liver.
Yeah, but it's yummy.
I'm not eating livers.
It is
Yum.
yummy, but don't think about it.
No,
just don't
I
think
won't.
about
I
it.
told you many
Just
times
look at
when
the
I was
meat
growing up.
rather
I
than-
know I cannot physically do it. I cannot
Wow.
mentally do it. My mum used to do this thing, Tracy, when I was growing up, and I used to love pies because I thought
Yes.
I was very simple eater back then, and she would give me a pie, and then I would be eating it and I'm having a great time, and then she'd walk in. I've probably got 2 bites left, and she'll walk in and she goes, "Did you like that pie?" And then I'd know something was wrong, and then she'd go, "That was steak and kidney," and then I'd start crying.
Really?
Yeah, I would cry
I feel
and
like
cry,
there's
and then
a
I'd
dare
dry
coming on
reach
here,
and I'd
Sean.
throw
Come on,
up.
like just
Yeah,
breakfast radio, bring in something.
No, Sean tries to get me to eat
hang
an
on.
organ every morning.
Last
I say
time I
no.
was here, you made us try that Vegemite milk or whatever it was.
Yes.
That was gross.
Oh, okay,
I feel like next time I
fancy
should bring in
pants.
some pate.
Yes,
For
yes.
you.
And feel free to bring in any Vietnamese
Oh,
food
yes,
because you're an
yes.
amazing cook.
Oh, yeah,
and you know what's funny?
We
Whenever she
wouldn't
turns
know.
up, she
We
doesn't
wouldn't
bring
know.
anything.
We wouldn't know. We wouldn't know, Sean. So anyway, that's what happens when you're friends with Tracy Vo, everyone. You go hungry.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
So I want to ask you guys a question, especially you, Sean.
Yes.
And it's about males and what they share with their friends. Okay. A woman, she was out for lunch with these 2 blokes who have been best friends for 5 years. Now, they've all been friendly together. She's never just been out with both of them. During one of the conversations at lunch, one of the guys brings up his fiancée. The best mate turns to his friend and says, "What? You're engaged?" And then she said, "Wait, there aren't you best friends? Didn't you know about this? Didn't you know about the proposal, let alone now that there's a fiancé?" And they were like, "No." I mean, they didn't think it was a
Just
big
didn't
deal.
come up.
Conversation keeps going. Then one of them shares the fact that he's from Connecticut. The best mate goes, "I'm from Connecticut too." And then they discover they're from the same small hometown. And they both never communicated this with each other.
How long have they been best friends for?
5 years.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, like
Yeah,
that's
that's-
detail
yeah.
you would know.
So
about
I
your
thought
best
this
mate.
is weird, right? Thousands of men have jumped on and left comments. One is as simple as this. "I drove my friend 3 hours to the airport last week. I have no idea where he went." This guy says,
so good.
"I might not know my best friend's favourite colour or birthday, but I sure know his plan for the apocalypse." This guy says, we really don't talk about anything. I told my friend I bought new tyres and we talked about tyres for 20 minutes. Why do I need to know the ins and outs of a mate's life to be friends with him? I've known guys for 30 years and still don't know the names of their kids. We talk rugby, fishing and stuff. Their personal life is of no interest to me.
Wow.
Then some women joined in.
Yep.
"My husband has a friend who moved away and recently had a child, but my husband doesn't know the gender or the name of the baby." Another lady says, "I had to tell my husband that his best friend of 6 years has more than one brother." Another one says, "I went on a double date with my boyfriend's best friend and his girlfriend, and we literally did not know the girl was 8 months pregnant until we saw her."
I totally get it. It's one thing. It's a comment to me all the time with my wife Megan. She'll have information about my friend or friendship group before I do, because I don't ask those questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Or she will ask me, "Oh, tell us what I don't know." Paul's going, what are they doing for their Christmas break? And I'm like, I don't know.
No.
Well, you just spent all day with him. Surely you're going to ask that question.
I'm a bit like
we
you,
just watch
Sean.
the horses or the
I
footy.
think I'm a
and
bit
that
like
was it.
you. Liam asks the questions a lot, but he keeps things to himself when he needs to.
Let's be honest. Let's be
but
honest.
he's probably the over communicator.
Liam's the lady in the relationship.
So I'll come home from something. He's like, "Oh, so what are they doing now?" I'm like, "I don't know." But I was saying to Nathan, our jobs, we're always communicating, right?
No.
So I just need quiet time. But I come home and Liam's peppering me with questions. I went, I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't ask that. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Just
So
go-
he's
just-
over
exactly
Just
the
shush.
Yeah.
Go to the fridge and get me a beer, Liam. Harry, what about you? Communicating with your mate?
I'm a classic case of spare me the details. I mean, someone will tell me they're maybe expecting a child or something. Mum will be interested, ask me all these questions. I've got a 3-question limit rule with Mum.
do you mean?
She's not allowed to ask too many questions.
To be honest, I know your life. I wouldn't want to scratch the surface too deep either.
No, she might say, when are they expecting? I go, I don't know, maybe sometime in the next 9 months if all goes to plan. That'd be good. And my sister is expecting a second now. People always ask me, when's it due? I don't know. Maybe a few months.
Okay, the next question is, straight, are they having a boy or a girl?
It's a boy.
Oh, okay.
that one is important. That one was important. That was important, yeah.
All right, we want to talk about this. Men not knowing the details about their mates' lives, or maybe just men not knowing the details. Men do not care to ask, is this true? Guys, is this you? And do you want to admit to it? Ladies, do you have a man in your life that knows nothing? Give us a call, 13 24 10. How's this? We're going to give somebody something that men will ask questions about. 3 sessions at Stadium Carts for you and a friend.
That's amazing, Trace. You've got to have a go at this.
It's down at Optus Stadium.
The go-karts.
The go-kart. They were around, then they went, and they're back.
Oh, no, so the Ed Sheeran concert got in the way, 75,000 people, so we had to just put it on hold for a second.
Fun.
But good news, Stadium Carts at Optus Stadium is extending its season for the April school holidays, so you can book now at stadiumcarts.com, so you got to go to it. Men and details.
Over to Gavin in Cloverdale. G'day, Gav.
G'day, how are you?
Hey, good
mate.
Gav.
This
All right, Gav.
Rings a bell?
Yeah, not for me, thankfully, but I went through the Defence Academy, which is an officer training school in Canberra, and you go there for 3 years, and it's pretty full on.
Yeah.
And two good mates of mine, Bucko and Horsey, they joined together, and they went through absolute hell together for 3 years. They lived in each other's back pockets. They did amazing things across the world and all that sort of stuff. They managed to get to graduation, and the parents fly down, to see their sons graduate.
Yeah.
And one of them starts to make the intros, and he says, "Mum and Dad, this is Chris." He said, "It's not Chris, it's Matt, you idiot."
He didn't know his first name, Gav.
They just knew each other as
Who was Chris, Bucko or Horsey?
Oh, I can't remember.
You can't remember either.
Yeah. And hopefully they're not listening because they're now very senior officers in the military.
That is no surprise. Like in footy clubs, you just know nicknames and stuff around, and you don't know people's names.
It is true, though, because we use a lot of, obviously, in media as well, lots of nicknames. And then even Liam's asked me, so what's their real name? And I have to think about it too. It's like, I think it's Adam. But yeah, that's so good. Bucko and Horsey.
This is my
couple
mate,
of
Chris. It's
I know,
Matt. Oh, thanks, Gav. That's great. Kylie's in Maylands. Hi, Kylie.
Hello.
Hi, Kylie. Is this about your dad, is it?
Yes. So he was so happy to take me out for lunch last year for my birthday.
Yep.
And he goes, "I can't believe you're 25 already." I was 35.
Don't sweat the details.
But, Dad, feel free to tell everyone.
That's great, though. He shaved
And
10
he
years
bought my
off Kylie.
I know. So, and he bought my 3-year-old niece who'd been walking since she was about 1, learn how to walk toy.
And how old was she? 3?
3.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
bless.
love your dad.
I know, sweet.
But you know what? Of all the problems in the world, your dad telling everyone you're 10 years younger, I mean, sign me up.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
All
I
right,
love
let's
it.
go to Steve from Atwell. Hey, Steve.
G'day, Groovers. How are you?
Good,
wonderful,
buddy.
Steve.
Is this true to you, Steve?
Yeah, mate, good.
Yeah. What's happened?
So what happened was my mate, his wife just up and left him and went back to Canada.
Yeah.
So he told me this, and I went, let's go for a hit of golf.
Yeah.
So we went for a hit of golf a couple of days ago. Anyway, here we are, spent about 7 hours together in the car playing golf. Anyway, I get home and the wife goes, so what happened? And I said, he bought a jet ski.
He bought a jet ski.
Well, that's the first thing you do, wouldn't it? You go straight
That's
to the
what I
jet
said
ski
to
at
her.
the
She
boat.
goes, why did you ask him about his relationship? And I went, well, he might not want to talk about it. He'll let me know. I said, he's got a cool jet ski.
Yeah,
We're going out a lot now.
Yeah, what do you want to know about the jet ski? I've got all the details.
If they do fish fry, I can tell you that straight away.
Do you know that? But that conversation that Steve has had with his wife, that is like recurring everywhere across WA.
Oh,
I would
yes.
say. That happens a lot.
Why didn't you ask some questions? Why didn't you ask this? Why didn't you ask that?
Why did you get the details? I
Mate.
want the juicy goss.
Tell you what, everyone, women, there you
Good
go.
on you,
That is the
Steve.
simple life of men. Thanks, mate.
Absolutely. Great callers all around. I'm going to go back to Gav. 3 sessions at Stadium Carts for you and a friend. Stadium Carts at Optus Stadium is extending its season for the April school holidays. Book now at stadiumcarts.com. Kylie and Steve, great stories as well, but that's going to you, Gav.
There you go. All right. We have got the truth about designer bags coming your way, Tracy.
You're going to love it.
Oh, I don't know.
So
if I'm
interesting.
going
Stick
to.
around,
Some women
everyone.
are
You
going to
wanna hear
hate it.
this.
If women are wanting one, they're going to hate
No,
it.
but also the blokes are going to hate it too because they're
No.
like, I've spent all this money.
No, you
hey,
know
yeah,
what?
Harry's got me
there will be. Yeah, but
Yeah.
also I think that there are women right now that are going to say, I want this bag, and these guys are going to use this as ammunition.
True.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We did a great chat yesterday, Tracy, which is maybe will make you want to hide your Louis Vuitton bag that you brought in
Probably.
today.
We've been telling you all morning, Trace, about expensive handbags. You bought one in this morning. We got a chance to catch up with a guy yesterday, and you're going to love this chat. Here it is.
One of the things that a lot of women out there and men aspire to is having a luxury brand bag.
Yep.
But they're
so expensive, though.
thousands and thousands of dollars. And I've always thought, is it worth it? Well, we've got a guy that's joining us right now who does something that would make most women and men that want these bags scream in pain. He rips them apart to tell us if they are well made or well worth the money or not.
He's a
And he
truth teller.
joins us right now. Hello, Vulcan.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello. So
mate.
Thanks for
your
having me
account's
here.
Tanner Leatherstein, and you basically rip these luxury bags apart. I mean, it's a bit devastating to see it happen. Do you feel bad when you're ripping them apart?
Well, initially I was feeling a little bit bad, and I keep seeing these comments in the posts. People say, well, I was literally crying or screaming as you were cutting it. But I think I got used to it now, unless it is something that I really like, it's extreme value I find in it. It doesn't feel bad to cut it open at this time. I become numb to it.
Well, Vulcan, you've got some big labels that you're
Yes.
doing this to. I guess first question, do you pay for these yourself? Because that's expensive
Yes,
stuff
indeed.
you're ripping apart.
Yes, that's true. And I was kind of worried about the financial impacts of this project as well recently. But, I started to see it as building an audience on the social media. It's a cost. It's an investment. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm not making money off of it directly yet.
Yep.
But let's see what happens in the future.
I have to tell you, one of my very, very, very good friends is sick for these products, to the point where when him and his wife go into the store, they're taken into the private room.
Oh.
That's how much they spend here.
Yep.
And I told him about the Louis Vuitton and what you found out about that. And it's actually made him second guess and second think about spending so much money. So can you tell us about what you've taken apart from Louis Vuitton and how much money it has actually gone into it, and how much labour costs have gone into it, and what it's being sold for?
So I have done a bunch of Louis Vuitton things. One was a very typical briefcase made with their coated canvas, not even leather.
Yes.
And that was about like a $1,700 bag. That was the first project I did when I came up with this idea. So even if that bag was made in leather, my estimate was around like $170 to $200,
Whoa.
including leather and labor. So I'm not accounting for any other costs, right? Yeah. And again, the idea was to help people understand the quality of the leather and, complexity of the construction, because sometimes people automatically assume it's so expensive, it must be because of leather. So, it must be really good. And because leather is a luxury item, probably that's why it costs so much. Well, that's not true. Leather is not cheap, but not that expensive either. So whatever you're paying for on those brands is the prestige and the status engineered around the product. And leather is a good item to engineer a luxury around it. So that's what I'm trying to show here.
It's brilliant marketing, isn't it? That's the thing that's selling us. But Vulcan, on that, what's the most expensive thing that you've pulled apart, Brandon, and how much would it be really worth?
The most expensive bag was, I think, Bottega so far. $2,500, an Arco Mini tote or handbag.
Yeah.
And that was around like $250. I'm not wrong, if I'm not wrong, remembering the leather and labor cost. I came up for that. And, I shouldn't be too far off. I have my own leather brand. I do these things, and I kind of have an understanding of the labor costs and the leather costs in these countries they make these bags in.
Sure.
So it's usually like 10 to 20 times of what I find in leather labor is the price tag you're paying on the high-end luxury. And I have a Louis Vuitton never full tote that I'm going to cut in this week or next week. That's going to be the most expensive one so far.
How much?
$3,000.
Okay.
Is that $3,000 US?
Yeah, you're talking US dollars, yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Birkin bags. We all know about Birkin bags. They're like, probably minimum $300,000, which is absolutely... You'll never probably buy a Birkin bag to rip one apart, and you'll have to be invited to buy those bags as well, Shaun. Are we thinking that just from your knowledge of those bags that we're talking about the same sort of money and craftsmanship and labour costs that go into one of them as well?
Exactly. So if you go to my channels, there is some discussions with some craftsmen who does this stuff, who worked at Hermes before.
Yes.
Got pretty good insights last week. We published some videos. And Birkin, let's say the regular leathers, the cowhide leather versions may start from 20, 30 grand. I think, I don't even know where you can find the price because, as you said, you can't even go buy one. You have to play all these games to be shown one first and then get the privilege to get the bag. But, if you do, that bag is mostly hand stitched and probably takes about 20 hours or so for a craftsman to finish. Yeah. So it's a slightly different cost structure there. The leather they use, Hermes, they have their own tanneries. Actually, they sell the leather outside too. A famous leather called Togo. That's what they mostly use for Birkins and Kellys. So if you use 10 square foot of that is the most expensive leather in the cowhide world I've ever seen.
Yes.
Probably it's going to cost you about $150, $200 for the leather.
Yep.
And the labor would be somewhere between $400 or $500 maybe.
You're kidding?
Quite a markup,
$300,000?
Because I just discovered that a monthly salary for a person who's making these bags at Hermes was 1,700 euros per month. I was expecting much more. So the craftsman doesn't get that well paid either. So it's nothing more than $1,000 to make one of those bags, in my very generous estimate.
What's your brand and how can people buy it?
My brand is called Pegai, P-E-G-A-I, Pegai.com. It's plural Pegasus. And we're online. You can check what we do. I love to use those minimally finished leathers. I don't have the standardized leathers as everybody else doing it. So I'm trying to make something slightly different and apply to these sophisticated designs you find it in the big brands. And hopefully make it more accessible so more people can enjoy leather in its most authentic form. That's the mission of my brand.
Vulcan.
You know
Good
what?
chat, man.
Really great to talk to you before Gucci throws you off a cliff.
If you go missing, we'll know what's happened.
That's a lot there. I wonder how people are thinking about that hearing this conversation.
So many men are going to their women.
I told you so. They're worth nothing.
You're a man's best friend. Thank you so much for talking to us. Hannah Leatherstein.com. We can check out everything to do. But you're on the socials as well.
And TikTok.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vulcan.
Thank you, Vulcan.
Thank you, guys.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you.
Bye.
Now, you only heard half of it. The rest is on our podcast. So there's another 8 minutes of audio of him giving out examples.
What do you think about that, Trace?
Tracy,
just
so
heard it.
your bag.
Really?
Get your bag up here. Show us your bag.
Oh, hang on.
Show us your bag.
You've seen it. It's on the ground. It's on the
Okay,
ground.
I'll get it.
It's on the ground. So it's the typical big can. It's like they mark it as a leather canvas, right?
Oh, she's got the matching.
Yeah, there's a matching pouch in there and everything. But it's probably worth like $100.
Yes, we know it's worth probably $100.
Yeah, it's incredible.
That's marketing for you.
It's
10
true
to 20, 10 to 20 times.
Yes, but the Birkin, the story about the Birkin bag, I think that's quite ridiculous. How there's a waiting list. Why would you wait? It's like almost people waiting for food. Why would you line up for food? Why do you line up or go on a wait list for a bag? I'm not like that. But these bags that I've got now with this bag, Liam, my gorgeous fiance,
you've hit the jackpot.
I have, but I think
Tell everyone why. Tell everyone why you've got this bag.
Well, because he loves his designers. He's been sucked in by the marketing. The poor love. But anyway, I know.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah, it does make you think, doesn't it?
It does make you think.
Yeah.
Because you can go to Bali or Thailand or something along those things, and you hear it in the podcast. You'll hear in the podcast what he has to say about that stuff being made.
Wow.
Yeah, so he talks about fakes, right?
Yes.
And that is very interesting. We urge you to download our podcast today because even just that fact is going to blow your mind.
Wow.
So Nathan, Nat and Shaun is what you're looking for. Mate,
Mine might be a fake. Who knows?
Well, to be honest, by the sounds of it, that's not
probably.
a bad thing.
In the minute, in it goes.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.